Hey, good morning. Dr. Bob Flower here, and this is the Monday, May 13th, Master Pattern Report. Okay, so let's look at a couple of the uh, stocks and securities that we had been touting for the past several months. For one, our Wendy's just about hit $6. And while we've sold off most of our holdings there, we're still holding on to some. We think that there's still a run here. This could conceivably, at some point, 12 months down the road, start to really take off. And we'd like to be there, especially at this point. I mean, the company has a lot of potential. Um, and I personally think, as do others, that of the quote fast fooders, it's one of the better ones. I think we've discussed before, one of the problems that in management that Wendy's has is its model, which is predominantly drive-in type of service, which is hurting it in key areas where that type of facility is not available. But perhaps there'll be a change, and the expansion possibilities will happen at a much greater rate, and consequently more power to the stock move. All right, the other one that I'm really happy about is the TUK, the ELF for Turkey. We had been talking about that. It was 67 and a half, 67.60, and it's now up over 75 and a half. And that's within a 2-month period. So we've seen a nice move there, and we like Turkey. We think Turkey will be going forward another very positive move. The other one is CLX, which is a transportation company, or is it CSX? I'm sorry, CSX. And that we started out at around $23. It's up over 25, 50 around there. We're looking at $30 for that stock at least before the end of the year. So we like those possibilities, all of those three possibilities. And another one that we're looking at that we have invested in options. Actually, we all of these are option plays as far as we're concerned. But the other one is American Financial Group. That's around $48, $48.50 a share now, making a slow but sure move. And again, this is like 6, 8, 9 month type of play. We like the American Financial Group, and we think that these are all good plays here. We are getting more positive about the metals, but we're not ready yet. We still think that any moves are just daily moves or weekly moves, and that the real moves will not be coming for significant moves will not be coming until sometime in the summer, and we haven't been able to actually pinpoint that yet, nor do we have any interest because it's too far off and we don't want to get invested in there. Of course, if you want to hold it for security's sake, it seems to be bottomed along with gold, and we think that this will hold unless we see further deflation. And the way they're pumping money into these institutions and into Wall Street, we don't think that that's the case. We think that sooner or later everybody's going to get back, and I'm talking about the big guys now, not the little guys. Everybody's going to get back what they lost, and the republic is going to be saved because the big institutions are not going to go under. And let me just assure you that the more that we see about what happened in 2008, the more we understand that the world was on the verge of a massive collapse, fiscal collapse that would have totally devastated everything. I mean, we very nearly saw $5,000 gold and $200 silver. And not to say that that will not happen, because history has a way of repeating itself, but these stupid asses are so inclined to, it's like the man who gets comes down with lung cancer because he smoked a lot, and finally he gets himself well, and so it's time to start smoking again, and it's the same thing with these guys. They once they get healthy again by virtue of all of the QE infinities pumping money into the systems and buying these bad notes, they'll be back and they're doing it already in the mortgage market. Okay, the type of mortgage loans that they're lending and giving to people who shouldn't have loans, who shouldn't have mortgages. They just are not responsible or capable of ownership. Okay, so with that, getting back to silver and gold, although it's a security play, we think that we have to see a greater move in inflation before we see significant. I'm not telling you not to buy it, because right now is a good time to hoard up if you want to, but until we see a move ticking up on inflation, we don't think you're going to see large moves in the metals yet. So we'll keep track of that. And talking about real estate, once again, it's making a very nice comeback. Will it last? We sort of think so, the way things are going, the way the rates are, and the rates look like they're going to stay that way for a while. Certainly, we think that although there's tremendous pressure for the rates to rise, we certainly don't think that's going to happen before the midterm elections towards the end of next year. So between now and next year, it might be the time for you to really make that commitment, buy that home that you're looking at. Prices have risen somewhat. They're still below pre-2008 levels. So again, if you're going to buy, if you're limited in your capital, then buy something for a home first and an investment second, not the other way around. It's not that time to think like that yet, okay? And after 50 years in real estate and teaching real estate economics at the United States Military Academy and New York University and several other universities, I can tell you that the academics of this are pretty sound right now in most areas. If Florida is making a nice comeback, Arizona is still hurting, but it's better, okay? California is starting to make somewhat of a comeback here. So a lot of the areas that were hard hit, I think Vegas and Arizona, Nevada and Arizona are pretty much in the same boat. The other areas just seem to be coming back, so it is time, if you want to invest in real estate over longer term, and that's what I would strongly suggest. Those of you who are longer term oriented, when I say longer term, 7, 8, 10 years down the road, it's the type of thing that will return huge rewards later on when you're looking to take things easier, okay? So, once again, oh, and we have, we're looking at some moves in oil and silver on the 17th, May 17th. We had a 1.25% move on silver on our call last week. Now, for those of you who think that's about 30 cents, I think, 31 cents for the day. Now, for those of you who think that's not a big play, it's not, except when you're doing options, it is a good move, okay? And again, the reason why we make these predictions is to show the efficacy of the master pattern and what we've discovered, and the basis of the master pattern, which is natural intelligence. And that is, as you may or may not know, our achievement form focus, which we'll be doing an achievement form later on. So that's it for this week. Mark down those securities I tell you about, and I think that we're having good fortune with them, and I think they're good for a little longer term investment than just a quick turnover. Okay, thanks. Have a great week.